Hi, and welcome to this edition of the S.H.O.P, the Social Hub of Positivity, here in the room in my house. Anyway, this week is a little bit different because we've had the wonderful film festival, the Kandu Reel Cinema Film Festival, our fourth year now. I'm very proud to say. I say a big thank you to everyone that makes that happen. Will McGuire and all his wonderful team at the Reel Cinemas. But Donna Lee from Kandu Arts, the wonderful person that she is, and all the Kandu people that helped support her, the young people, Jess, etc., who helped get the programs and all that sort of good stuff together, and Nicola Jew and all the good people from Wiltshire College and the fantastic students that submitted their final pieces. We had 18 submissions this year. And this year was particularly different because we had the wonderful Neville Farmer, who is quite an extraordinary gentleman, lovely guy all round, but also a bit of a creative polymath in that he does lots of, maybe we could put his CV sort of thing up here, Maya. We could put some details about the wonderful Neville, because he not only was a wonderful adjudicator stroke judge of the competition, and we call it a competition only in the sense that we want to get the young people used to the idea of the film industry being quite a competitive arena. That one way to get notoriety is, of course, entering into film festivals. So the idea with Reel Cinemas is for the students to get used to the process, and then they do a bit of question and answer if they want to at the end. But he has come on board this year and helped evolve to a much higher level the standard of what we're going to do as adjudicators and judges. So he's taken a great bit of time, of his own personal time, to review and to feedback in a really detailed way about each film and or the winners of each category. So he's done a fantastic job, and we want to put a little snippet, if we can, of some of the works, just so you get an idea of the standard. It's really good. I'm very proud of everyone there.
Sitting in the back seat of my car, with my arms around my guitar, and the rain falls from the roof of the world. Nothing around, just the trees and the ground. There's a bird in a tree singing his song, just for me, just for me.
Left me all alone, making me wonder what is a real home. Pushed me out while being abused. Is that what mother's meant to do? Leave her child black and blue? Cause that describes both of you. Even when I've had to reach out, you've only ever answered me for clout. But look at me now, standing tall. You didn't do it, I did it all by myself. I learned to shout, I learned to let my true self out. You treated me like a clown, but I'll never let you knock me down. Success is where I strive. Look at me, I'm alive. In the ring is not just where I fight, it's also my demons late in the night. So I'm sorry if I'm always smoking a zoo. It helps me feel less blue because of my parents beef and abuse. Reminders wherever I go. Why is it only 4% of us that have no home, no comfort zone, nowhere to go? Why do we have to be alone? Don't have kids if you're gonna abuse them now, cause we're the ones that have to suffer, not you. Peace out, it's blue.
And I'm sure Nicola Dew and all the staff and crew at Wiltshire College are as well. So that was wonderful. And then we had the 20th anniversary of our film. I don't know if you can see it back to front there. Is it Everything? Which the wonderful Ray Winston supported us with, because he is a wonderful human being, but he also understood the work that Kandu Arts with Sustainable Development does in the community. This particular project went to support the work that we were doing with the wonderful Sue Deedigan over in Bristol on the front line, working with women involved in the sex industry. So the idea of promoting these films and producing them, etc., is so that people start thinking potentially about different angles about the sex industry and its implications. And it was very powerful. And I'm glad to say we had a really good audience and a nice question and answer session with Will McGuire afterwards. So felt very blessed, supported by the community, people from all different areas of our Kandu world. Big shout out to Rich Swatton and his lovely wife for coming over. Rich, of course, is one of the directors of the mighty music festival, which will be the next thing on the horizon. And that, and the general election, of course. So if you hadn't heard, I have put myself up as an independent candidate, so potential MP. And the reason I've done that is because, like most people, I'm sure, you're sick and tired of all the old party politic, saying one thing when they want to get elected, doing almost the opposite or nothing at all when they get in. I got to go now because my wonderful daughter is calling me from the other room, but I have a few little looks at the various films that we've been looking at and helping to support in the wonderful film festival, and look out for your wonderful independent candidate for the general election. Good luck. It's a wrap.
I'm Neville Farmer. I'm a filmmaker some of the time and a musician and a writer, and I live in Corsham, so not far from you all. And what an amazing array of different types of skills and talent. Really fantastic. Because I was given a form to fill in and then couldn't see it at all, I have no idea what order my notes are in. So, and I won't be able to talk about all of the films that I saw, but I do want to, it depends who's still here as well. It's really important to be concise when you're making films, and that was a really great example of how to do that. Jess, you're here, aren't you? Yeah, well done, because it's a difficult subject that you picked on. And get back to see if I can find my notes in the midst of all of this chaos. I think simplicity as well is what was really important about you. You were saying something really quite important, but you said it in a really simple way, and that's always the best way to say it. So well done on doing that. Right, because I love the way, and I love the mood on the beach, and the idea of the dancing. At first I was thinking, well, this is very lovely and very beautiful, curious as to what it's got to do with Morpheus, and it was the writing in the sand at the end, which really sort of brought it home. Again, a really nice story, simply told.
Things have cost us money, and thought, golly, I mean, the one thing that mentioned on there that really gets me is the fact that for Island Park, which basically was our discovery, the council didn't even own it when we moved on to it. We pay them to use it every year to provide the festival. The festival is considered to be an outside organisation because we are a CIC, community involved charity. CIC, that's. We are a charity, not a town organisation, and therefore we have to pay the council to use Island Park and Monkton Park.
The film. He's also the founder of Kandu Arts, and you'll probably recognise him, no doubt, from the film. Please give it up for the one and only Mr. Ed Deedigan.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And good night. Thank you. Thank you all for coming and staying. But thank you, Will, for allowing us to put on a wonderful film festival. And to Nev Farmer, who is a fantastic producer, musician, who came along to the special part of the film festival, which is the young people from Wiltshire College. And I think you'll agree, Nev and Donna, we saw some fantastic pieces of work today, which really inspire us. So thanks for allowing us to put it on. And I know that there's some of the students here who are over 18. And no, they are, seriously. Get the birth certificates quick. Arrest them, Jack, get them in. Yeah, so we've had a wonderful day, and thank you for, I don't know what to do with this chair. I'll do this. Oh yeah, go on, Will, say something.
Yes, so I mean, I think you're the producer on this film. I guess, you know, we all know what a director does, we all know what the actors do, but what would you say you do as a producer, and what did you need to do for this film?
A lot of blagging. Seriously, because we had no budget.
Yeah.
So that film was made for 47 in hard cash, £47,500. Yeah. Which, because we essentially the blagging I did was to get Ray Winston, Jan, and Damon Albarn to re-record. How good was that? Does anyone recognise the fact that was tender? Yeah. He re-recorded especially for us.
Really nice. Yeah.
With Ray singing it, and his daughter, because the daughter in the film is Ray's real daughter. That was another blag. He sort of kind of, once I'd gone to his house and met the family and just sort of said, oh, you know, there's a daughter part in this film, Ray. Any chance that Lois could do it? And I think that's one of the strongest bits. It's a strange film in a lot of ways, isn't it? But at the time, Kandu were doing a long-term project working with women involved in prostitution in Bristol. So actually, it helped throw some light on that subject matter. So it was worth us putting the time and effort. But a lot of it was literally blagging because we had no money. Ray, I'd known when I was a musician back in London, so it was one of them ones where he did that for nothing. Damon did the re-recording. We had two young people that we worked with who were in care, came down and did backing vocals. So it was just about creating opportunity.
And how did you come to be involved with the project?
Because the writer is Richard Hawkins, who's actually, his dad was in the RAF. We knew him, we knew each other. Our father was in the RAF as well. Our father, who was in heaven now, but he was in the RAF at the time. We knew him from school and we knew him from college. I knew Richard. He approached me because he knew that the work that we did and the project we were doing, he said, I think this might be relevant to you. And so also, did he spot any of the Chippenham locations in that? Lodge Bank, that'll do you, mate. Nearly got arrested for that one, yeah. The cellar of the house is St. Paul Street. The church is, what's the church on the hill? Our Maureen got married in, Don. What was it? St. Mary's, is it? Yeah. On Station Hill, that's the Catholic church. That was the old Kandu office in the thing. I'm just talking about locations now and my old
But
car.
that's sort of would be important as a producer.
Yeah.
You're responsible for sort of overseeing, for getting the money, for sorting the casting,
Yeah.
for you
Yeah.
know, making the film actually
I
happen.
look at, basically what I did is I got the cast. I could have got the money based on the fact that we had that cast, but actually it was someone else. It was a guy, American guy, who's a friend of Richard's, who got that money, and the money wasn't anything. In fact, because I think the acclaim it got, fair play to him, he wrote a good film and all that stuff, because he'd never directed before. So what we did is, Kandu were making a short film over in Highworth, and I asked him, because he'd never directed a film, to come and direct this one with young people, some of them were young offenders. Simultaneously, I asked Jan Graveson, who I'd known as an old friend from the West End. She was in Blood Brothers and EastEnders and stuff, but I knew her from the West End. And I asked her to come and be in this film in Swindon, but I told her that the guy that was directing it was going to direct this feature film. At the time, we didn't have the male cast. So she came along knowing that this guy was the director, but I didn't tell him that I had her in mind for being the part in this film. So obviously I'd been working with the script for a while. So we did this 10-minute film, and then one night he turned to me and said, "You've got her in mind for the part in that film." I said, "Yeah." I said, "What are you talking like that for? What are you impersonating me, Ray?" And he said, "No, I talk like this." I went, "Oh, do you? Oh, do you, Mr. Winston?" No. So I took his number. Funny enough, I never did give it to Damon, and I kept it. No, I did give it to Damon, but I also had it myself. When we came to cast in the film, Jan, who I knew, who was a Geordie, well, she's a Mackin, she's from Sunderland. She knew Tim Healy. Does everyone know Tim Healy from Arvidas and Pet? Right. So basically, originally, because we had Jan, and we thought she was going to be, and she was a strong actress, we were going to set the whole film in Newcastle, and I approached Tim Healy because he knew Jan, sent him the script, he loved it, and we were going to do it. So it was going to be Tim Healy. Imagine this, Tim Healy from Arvidas and Pet. I still think it would have worked. Set in Newcastle, and the whole thing would have been a sort of Geordie type thing, but the subject matter's the same wherever you film it. Anyway, unfortunately, Bomber. Does anyone ever watch Arvidas and Pet? Yeah. So Bomber, the big laddie, was dying of cancer. So Tim was on board. We had the schedule worked out, and he phoned and said, "Ellis, we've got to move the schedule for Arvidas and Pet because Bomber's got cancer, unfortunately. So I can't do your film." I was like, "Oh, you're kidding, man." "No, you're kidding. I'm not about the cancer." So, "No, you know, what can you do?" Anyway, Richard Hawkins knew that I knew Ray Winston. He said, "I don't suppose you could get Ray Winston to do it, could you? Because I actually think in my head that he was the sort of guy." I was like, funny enough, I've actually got his number. So I rang him direct, and obviously he knew me, so it was kind of handy. However, I didn't speak to his agent, right? And I didn't speak to his agent for months and months and months. So I said to Ray, "Listen, here's the crack. You understand now that I'm working with this organisation. At the time we were a charity. We're working on this project with women involved in prostitution in Bristol. Tim Healy was going to do it, but he can't explain why." I said, "However, listen, can I send you the script? It's your career, so obviously if you don't like the script, don't worry about it. But if you like the script, consider it." So obviously I sent it. He loved the script. He says, "Yeah, not a problem. We'll need to work out a schedule." He was doing King Henry VIII for ITV, and I remember that I think that cost £2 million, this TV thing he did. And he was doing that, and that kept getting prolonged, so our dates with him kept getting mixed up. Getting put off. Anyway, eventually we timed down to what we think is going to be 12 days, right? Which is ridiculous. 12 days on a feature film for that sort of length of him being on screen was absurd. He said, "Tell you what, Ed, do me a favour, ring Wiggy," which is his partner and his agent. "Just ring Wiggy, just sort this out with him now, because now it's all cushy." Phone Wiggy, his agent, who knew nothing about it, right? And he sort of goes, "What?" He says, "Yeah, so we're doing this film with Ray. He's agreed to do it," and explained, I filmed the last scenes in Chippenham. And at 5 o'clock in the morning, we had a bit of a party because it was the last day on set. We had in St. Paul Street, I lived at the time, we had a party till 5 o'clock in the morning. The second AD went to bed. I'm laughing because second AD was an Arsenal fan, so I was blagging him. I made him a bed with a Tottenham duvet in it, so that when he went to bed, he was pissed off. But anyway, he went to bed. So you go to bed, we'll have a party, and we'll get you up. So you have to drive Ray from Chippenham at 5 in the morning to his house in Essex, pick up a suitcase, his passport, and get into the airport, or I'm a dead man. So he's like, yeah, not a problem. He goes to bed laughing at the duvet. Ray, fantastic singer. We have a great party, singing loads of Frank Sinatra. He's a great singer. Finishes off. He gets in the car. Nice one, son. He goes off. About 2 hours later, I get a phone call from Ray. He goes, "You all right, son?" I was obviously whatever. Yeah, mate, all good. I said, "How's it going with you?" He says, "It's all going sweet, my mate. It's all going beautiful. We just passed. And what's the not Gordano services? The one near the bridge. Near the, there's the services near the Severn Bridge. Yes." She said, "We're just passing that." I went, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, just passing that now. We're making good time." I said, "Oh my God! Oh my God, you're going the wrong way! Ray, you're going the wrong way!" I thought, fuck, he's never going to get to the airport. He went, "I'm only kidding." I nearly had a heart attack.
And I think
Yeah.
the film generated some success. You managed to get BAFTA nominated among a few other things.
Yeah.
You won at the Polish Film Festival for Best Actor.
He got, but yeah, Best Actor. I couldn't believe that. I thought I was going to get it. Yeah, well, it's just yeah.
Had the name behind him.
A little bit of a name.
You know.
Because producers, whatever. Richard was nominated, and we went down because we were scoundrels, and we did. And I said it on the radio the other day. We got down and we got into our seats, and there was like little bottles of champagne, and there was flowers, and there was all sorts. And we looked around, and we looked at, there was all these famous people there, and then we looked, and we thought, okay, now wait a minute. The bottles of champagne, the flowers, and the chocolates cost more than our film. So that was a sort of an eye opener. But Jan Grayson, who's hilarious, Kate will tell you. Kate Havard, the lovely Kate, who's here tonight, starred in another feature film with Jan, and they got on very well. But she's a rogue. Jan's an absolute rogue. I looked up when it came to the nomination to the part of the show where our bit was being. I looked, and she was in the the sort of racing. Get ready on your marks, get set. I said, "What are you doing?" She goes, "I tell you what it is. If our film comes up, it'll just be Richard going, goes, I'm getting on that fucking stage." I went, "Oh yeah." I was more interested to see if we won, just to see her run from where we were and not get knocked out by the security. But yeah, we had it was mental. The whole process. But you definitely couldn't do it. I'd say one of the key factors, not just to we got, as you say, we got great success. It allowed us to do other things, but doing it, we'd never have got it done. No way in the world in 7 days. But without the goodwill, Ray Winston was absolutely phenomenal. We had a great crack when he filmed. It was really intense when they filmed. Me and him would go walk around Soho. After the shooting, we'd go into a bar, buy all the cast and all the things, drinks, whatever. It's great. We were going to a location one morning in the Arsenal fan, the second AD's car, and it was his mum's car. Nothing on the thing was in the wardrobe. Everyone else was really serious, but he got in the wardrobe, bless him. But yeah, we had an absolute hoot. Me and him had the best crack. In obviously it was a very intense, very whatever. He got me totally hooked on double vodka and coke. Don't do it, kids. It's wrong for you. In fact, I don't drink alcohol anymore, so I can say it quite happily. But when we were not filming, whatever, was just fantastic with him. He was really centered, really professional, got the job done. It was really intense, and only had 7 days to do it. And he just knocked it out in the best form, as well as being really generous, really kind. So I can't thank him enough, man.
And he was brilliant in the film. You can see how natural he is as an actor.
Yeah.
He was really good. And I think so. It's 20 years on now.
Yeah.
That's it, and it's its first theatrical presentation?
It had to be released for 1 week to get nominated in the BAFTAs to be eligible. So it was at the on the Strand. What's that? Andy, you'll know. What's the? Oh, actually, someone's going to know this. What's the theatre? The film on the Strand. It's
In London.
Yeah, in London. What's it called? BPI, BMP, BPI. Do you know what I mean? British film thing, BFI. BFI
Yeah.
was there, and it was shown in Soho as well
Yeah.
for 1 week.
So it was its first Chippenham premiere.
Oh,
First
100%.
theatrical,
Yeah.
and premiere
Yeah.
Chippenham. And how does it feel looking back after 20 years? What do you think the sort of lessons learned? I mean, I think you said, Ray Winston's, as I said, his goodwill really carried the film to be able to make it in 7 days. Does any other sort of lessons to share to some of the young filmmakers in the audience?
Yes. Always be humble, but because Ray was so generous with everyone and everything, he kind of dispelled and dispersed that. So before he got on the set, everyone was kind of, a bit arsey and what have you. Well, look at me, I'm at things like, what are you talking about? He came on, totally subverted that, was really kind, was really generous with his time, with everything. Absolutely everything. Now I know he was a well-established actor by this stage, he was a multi-millionaire, whatever. But actually, he brought us into his home. I've got to tell you this. So while we went to his home, we invited him to his home to meet Richard, the director, to meet Ollie, the other producer, etc., etc. And he went, all right, so who's playing the pimp? And at the time, I was trying to get Phil Daniels, who Ray knows. And the thing is, it kind of worked out better, because if you saw Phil Daniels as the flower seller, you'd know that he was going to be in the film, wouldn't you? Because he's famous, right? So it kind of worked out that I was anonymous, except in Chippenham, where you're all going, ooh, isn't that good at selling flowers? Anyway, we're at this pub, and Richard said, Ed, you're going to have it. Yeah, not a problem. So Ray goes, so I just want to know, who's doing the pimp, and who's doing the flower seller? And Richard goes, oh, it's Ed. He went, Ed's doing it, the musician's doing the acting. He said, whoa, hold the bus. No. I said, Ray, seriously. Now, I don't know if any of you have seen Scum. Everyone seen Scum? Yeah. Oh, Jesus, that was a great response. It's kind of a good thing. Right, so you know the famous scene in Scum where, if you haven't seen it, I'm going to ruin it, but he's in the boiler house and he's taken over. Have you seen Scum? Right. So basically, he's a young offender. It's one of his first roles in film. And he's coming into this new Borstal, back in the day, Young Offenders Institute, and he has to he takes it over with violence. And there's one gang that he has to conquer, and he goes down. He organises this fight and it's iconic in British film, except you don't know it, so that's embarrassing.
I'm from New Zealand.
Well, exactly. If New Zealand, that's a lovely place. Anyway, in the film, he goes in and then he says to the guy, the opponent he's about to fight, he says, where's your tool? And the guy goes, what tool? And he goes, this fucking tool, and whacks him with this piece of whatever.
Yeah.
I don't really swear, that was an actor, I was acting, I was pretending to be someone. Right. So all these years later, I'm in the pub with this iconic British actor, and he says, Ray, it's going to be fine. Because what we're going to do is, you're going to come up to me and you're going to ask me for some flowers. And I'm going to start picking them out. And you're going to say to me, where's your tool? And I'll say, what tool? And then you take some pruners out of your pocket and say, this fucking tool. And I say, thanks very much. And I click and he goes, yeah, all right, you can do it. You can do it. From that moment on, we've got on marvellously. I said, oh my God, what would it be like to be in a film with Ray? There's actually the extended version, or the thing on the DVD. There's a version of it where Tanya, bless her, who was part of our theatre group at the time, the Kandu Wednesday night theatre group, she got the part in that. She kills herself. So there's a scene where you don't see where she hangs herself, and there's a scene where he comes down the stairs when he gives her £2,000, not a penny. Hey, my name's Susan. oh, nice one, bye. He goes down, he comes down the stairs, and he gets flowers, right? But as he does it, he notices that there's the wire. You know, at one point she says, if I press this really good looking bloke from downstairs is going to come up with a bad haircut and breathe on you. Oh! And he sees the wire and he works out that the flower seller is obviously the pimp. And then he works out, you know, so basically what he does is he pulls the wire apart. And this is kind of improvised, and I kind of look at him, and because he's asking me flowers, and I'm doing these flowers for him, and then he turns around and he headbutts me. Now, he obviously doesn't make contact, but I, you know, me and Don for many years, you regularly. So when you're in a film with Ray Winston, this will be nothing. I went, yeah, great, go, let's do it. Or he didn't really, Will. That was actually not what actually happened. He didn't think I was going to be in a film. He thought I was going to be crippled. But basically, so Ray comes up, does this thing. He headbutts me, doesn't make contact. I fly over this chair, do this fantastic bit of acting. I stay on the ground, go, that's it, oh my God! Go, cut, fantastic, well done, Ed. Well done for staying down, because obviously he didn't make the... So I'm down like this, he goes off. They cut it out of the movie.
Yeah. That's why you didn't win Best Actor.
That's probably what it was, and I think Ray made him do it, because he said, no, I've never seen anyone respond to a headbutt like that. That guy is, but for a big lad, he's fantastic. I flew over the chair.
Yeah, you robbed.
I was robbed.
Okay, and so let's throw it to the audience. Does anyone have any questions that they would like to ask?
Ed, do you think it would have been better with martial arts in it?
Yeah, there was a scene, bless Don, that's true. There was a scene when she's taking the Tanya, when Jan and Tanya are going around London, seeing sightseeing or whatever, yeah, where she goes into a martial arts class, which of course was in Chippenham, but say in London, where Don did this martial arts. And I think Ray was just justified. He's like, 2 Deedigans. Now, Chris is in it as well. Let's not have so many Deedigans on the set. Let's get the little fella in the pyjamas off. Get him off. Get him out of there. It's bad enough his brother with his crap haircut. Yeah, it would have been better.
Anyone else?
Has it made money for the charity?
Do you know what? Basically, it didn't really. I think the only thing that really happened from it was Ray gave us his prize money from the Polish Film Festival, and it's been used, and we've been able to use it as a kind of CV to get funding to do more films with young people.
Can I ask, when you said it was 47,000, where was that from?
The guy in America.
Right, and because if it was sold onto the airplanes and they sold in New Zealand...
Oh, yeah, totally.
They must have sold...
They must have done, 100%. I think, oh no, actually, we probably got... Sorry, we got...
So he might have made something on the film.
Yes, yeah, I think that there was probably more money made and we weren't given it, if you know what I mean. But there was money, we were given some money, but it was nowhere near, because we had to keep moving the schedule and cancelling work and what have you. Actually, it cost us money to do it. It wasn't, but I think the notoriety, in a sense, was worth it. But the experience was fantastic. But being able to use it as a CV to get more funding for other projects with young people, and yeah, that was probably worth it, definitely.
Yeah.
In the end.
Anyone else? Yeah.
Yeah, would you ever try something like that again?
Making a film?
Which bit blagging a superstar again? I have to tell you, actually, Damon Albarn, bless him, on the night before we started filming, we had a launch party at Nick Moran's place. And Damon came because he was going to do the music, and we used to be buddies from college, whatever. Ray was doing a press junket in another part of London. So he'd said, "Hey, can you bring Damon to this press junket?" He'd been finished. He was staying the night in this hotel, and he was having a drink with his really pissed off agent. So I went across London with Damon Albarn in this thing, and as we were going across, Damon just looked at me and went, "How the fuck do you do this?" I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, You've got me in a taxi going across to London to see Ray Winston, who's doing this film for you for nothing, and I'm doing it for nothing." I went, I don't know, I just, I've got good friends, haven't I? we went into this hotel room, and the two producers who had to pay Ray, Christ knows how many thousands, maybe $1 million or whatever, to do the Henry VIII thing, and Dave was going, "Oh man, how much are you paying him?" I said, "We're not paying him." In fact, he gave us the feedback, the minimal thing. He said, "Wow." To this day, I don't think Damon can understand how that happened. But would we try something like? Well, we did Bash Street.
Well, let me. Even if you had the same restrictions and you
Yeah.
do it over again, with those restrictions, what would you have done differently, if at all?
There's a vodka and coke. I should have knocked that on the head.
Single vodka.
Yeah. No, I don't think we could have really, because we had to make use of the time. There was no other way of doing it, and once his agent knew about it, he was never going to let us do that again, or even attempt it. So it was like we had to get it done. It did really. It was really stressful, really exhausting. That's why there's such a long time usually on a film set. But films, one of my favourite scenes that means nothing when he's outside that hotel, and you see that guy comes out and he starts running, and the guy goes up that little alleyway and he turns around and there's that dustman. Well, that just was there. It's perfect. It's perfect. But doing that, so obviously we didn't have any licenses. We weren't supposed to be filming. Very particular in London. We couldn't have done anything. We just did it. Is do it anyway. Obviously, health and safety is really important. But making films, don't apologise for it. Just do it. And if you get a great collaboration, if you get the right people, and you've got some great is do it anyway. Obviously, health and safety is really important. But making films, don't apologise for it. Just do it. And if you get a great collaboration, if you get the right people, and you've got some great is do it anyway. Obviously, health and safety is really important. But making films, don't apologise for it. Just do it. And if you get a great collaboration, if you get the right people, and you've got some great is do it anyway. Obviously, health and safety is really important. But making films, don't apologise for it. Just do it. And if you get a great collaboration, if you get the right people, and you've got some great is do it anyway. Obviously, health and safety is really important. But making films, don't apologise for it. Just do it. And if you get a great collaboration, if you get the right people, and you've got some great in the film, at a location, our sister Mo's house, and asked Jack. I've given him the script. Jack had the script longer than anyone. What I didn't realise is that he hadn't read it because he thought it was a blag. But bless him, he still turned up in costume on the first day. And unfortunately, we were late from the previous location. So he was in my sister's house, drinking a cup of tea or coffee or whatever, thinking, "Oh no! After all these years, it is a blag, and Ed's got me here under false pretenses. They're all probably laughing at me." So I didn't know that on the day. So I then turned up with the film crew, and Jack's kind of like, whatever, do this scene with Jan. He does brilliantly. And I said, right, we're going to do the film when you do the scene where you come in, you meet Kate at the door or whatever. He goes, what? And I looked at him and I thought, well, that doesn't look like the face of someone who recognises what I'm talking about. I said, Jack, you know the scene where you come in, Kate is coming, and he goes, you haven't read the script, have you, Jack? Well, no, I haven't. Well, I nearly died. Well, you are a bastard. He goes, I thought you were joking me. He didn't do it. So basically, he then has to do a scene, which is one of the opening scenes, where he gets out of bed and he's only in his underwear. So later on, he does this scene, he comes out and he's in bed with Jan Graveson, and we are talking with Joe Hughes a couple of days later. And he said, do you know what? He said, I thought you were joking for all those years about the film. I thought that on the first day, when in the morning, that you were still joking that it was a big blag and you were going to come out of a cupboard or something and say, haha, we're not really doing a film. He said, and then about an hour later, I found myself in bed. in my underwear with a complete stranger. Film, people, film is magic. You can transform people, strangers, complete strangers. Get into bed with each other. Come on, I'm going to film it. Yes, sir. That's what I do. Good night, everyone. Well, fair play. That was a great experience. That was really hard. Bash Street, without a doubt, it's really hard subject matter. The process and the people involved, young people, you know, but Kate, Jack, we had a fantastic, I think Kate would agree, we had an absolutely and there's not much comedy in it at all, but there was so much laughter. I mean, how me and Jack ever got through scenes, because I was directing it and he was, we had to stop and go again, we laugh, no, stop. And action, and by God, you see it, you'd never think that, but we were absolutely killing ourselves. And we took, let's say, 5 years planning, improvisation, development, and then we would do weekends, really intense weekends, over a whole year. And yeah, it was because we had marvellous people, but that was joyous.
And any more questions? Well then, I think we'll wrap that up. Thank you again,
Thank you, Will.
Ed.
Thank you, Dev. Really
and-
appreciate it. And thank you everyone for your support. Really appreciate it. Donna and everyone here. That's really kind. And obviously I will be signing haircuts later on. Haircuts? What are you talking about? Thank you very much, everyone.
Brilliant. Thank
Cheers.
you.